Hi, fifth grade. So I know that your teachers have been working with you on ecosystems. And so this week, you're going to work on a nearby lesson for me about ecosystems. But I'm going to give you a brief little introduction today about ecosystems. And I really want you to reflect about what would happen if a specific part of an ecosystem is taken out. So I pulled some books from the library and I'm going to share a short snippet from each of those books with you so you can understand what happens if we take a certain animal out of an ecosystem. What kind of impact is that going to have on that ecosystem as a whole? A quick definition of an ecosystem is a community or group of living organisms that live in and interact with each other in a specific environment. So, let's talk about some specific animals. So, we have these books, they're in the nonfiction section of the library in the 577. So if you want to check these out when you come back to school, or if you want to go online and request a hold for one of these books, I'll get it to you. So this book, What If There Were No Sea Otters? Okay. So the excerpt from this is, what would happen if sea otters became extinct? Without otters to dine on them, sea urchin populations would start to grow out of control. It is critical. Sometimes a plant or animal species is so important that without it, many other species would become extinct. It is called a keystone species. Sea otters are a keystone species. Keystone species help make sure an ecosystem has many types of life. So if the sea urchin starts growing in huge numbers, then other parts of the coral reef would not be able to grow in those sections. So here's the page. You can see that picture in there, right? And this is from the ocean ecosystem. From the tundra ecosystem, we have lemmings. What would happen if lemmings became extinct? A number of animals in the tundra only eat meat, and lemmings are a favorite meal. If lemmings disappeared, smaller meat eaters such as owls and ermines would have trouble finding food. Without lemmings, the owl and jaguar populations would drop. This would mean fewer eggs for animals such as Arctic foxes to eat. So this would actually affect the the food chain of several groups in the tundra if lemmings were no longer here. So here's the picture for that. And this book is also in 577 if you want to check it out. Into the temperate forest ecosystem. What would happen if a gray wolf became extinct? Without gray wolves, the animals they eat would begin to fill the forest. This would be especially true for larger prey, such as white-tailed deer. Deer have very few predators besides wolves. Mountain lions also hunt white-tailed deer. However, few mountain lions still remain in the forest. Hunters and people building new houses have destroyed the lions' homes. So, as you can see, people have made have people have disrupted this ecosystem by building houses within the forest. But if the wolf was taken out, then there would be an overrun of the deer population, and deer eat a lot of grasses, so they would potentially kill the grass and eat all the grass around your house. So that could affect you too. So here is a picture from that book. And this book is also in 577. All right. And last but not least, the bees of the grassland ecosystem. And this one would have an extreme effect on us because of what's in this. So, what would happen if bees became extinct? If there were no bees, farmers near grasslands would have a lot of trouble growing crops. Farmers need bees, especially honeybees, to help pollinate their fruit and nut trees. Apple, cherry, plum, and avocado trees would produce less fruit, or none at all, without bees. Almond and macadamia trees would produce less too. Those particular crops are ones that we eat for food. So if there are less, then that means that the supply of the fruit is less and the demand for the fruit is higher. So the price of the fruit will be more expensive, and we may not be able to get those fruits at all. So ecosystems are extremely important. Now, next week, what I'm going to have you do is look at a specific biome, and then you're going to create a little fact sheet about that biome. So you will get directions about how to do that next week.